Cool. It's all live now. If you want to let me know how my sound is doing, because I have my microphone pretty close to the actual D at the moment. I want to make sure that you can hear me over the music of the game. I haven't encountered a Bagon yet, so hopefully we don't phase on something that's not a Bagon again. Shiny Salamance hunting, phase 33. I might be able to link you if you need it. Oh, you got it? Good. Because once again, I have no idea how my sound is going to be doing. Because, like I said, my microphone is pretty close to the DS, so I don't know if it's overpowering the sound of the DS at all. I don't think you've ever actually seen my setup for this hunt, have you? You've just seen whatever clips I post for my phases. Very quiet. Okay, I'm gonna crank that a little bit. Is that better? I actually turned it down just so I knew it wouldn't be overpowering my voice, but my voice volume is good, right? That's good. Alrighty, I'm gonna crank that to 50%. Is that pretty good? You can hear background music now? That's something other than my voice to focus on. Dude, it's gonna be so funny if I fail something. It's still a bit quiet. I'm gonna crank it all the way up then. It is. The DS is literally behind the microphone, so. Yo, dude, I finally got a shiny Mankey though. I now have everything available on Route 2, and I think that's crazy. Other than Charmander, which I can only hunt on Sundays, and Crabrawler, which is only in the berry trees. But everything that normally spawns in this patch of grass, I now have a shiny of. Other than Salamance, which hopefully will change. Is the DS audio good there now? That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, stream delay, baby. I don't think it's that bad right now, actually. I think it's only like a half to a third of a second behind. Which, I mean, hey, it's pretty good for my shitty little laptop I got. Oh, you actually have the video audio running as well as on Discord? Oh, okay, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, no one else will have that problem but you, so. I think. Honestly, I don't think. I would like a second Mankey if I phase on something that's not Bagon again, because then I would have the evolution line of everything that's available in this route. Because I have 2 Spearows, I think I have 3 Haluchas, I have 2 Cutie Flies, one I've already evolved into a Bombi. So a second Mankey would be appreciated for sure. I'm just really glad that I can't repel trick this Bagon, because it makes the phases a little bit more interesting leading up to getting a Bagon. Although I'm sure it would make it so that the phases are a bit more lenient, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Oh, dude. Honestly, I haven't been hard doing it for that long. I've probably been more hardcore shiny hunting since Horas. But I've definitely been up to tabs on it since Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I've been watching the community since then, but I haven't been part of the community until Gen 6 when it really blew up, so. Ooh, lowered shiny odds. which I appreciate. It makes hunting more interesting, more reasonable. I think it's a hot take. It's a good thing across the board. I really enjoy RCS's shiny hunting, but I don't enjoy doing it through mass outbreaks, which is like the most optimal way. I really enjoy just running around the map and being surprised by anything that comes along. Yeah, I mean, like, I never actually even got into, like, the actual resetting of hordes. It was literally, or mass outbreaks. I literally just, like, I would go to an area that had a mass outbreak, and just, probably, like, 1 in 4 hordes, I'd get some, or mass outbreaks, I'd get something. And it's just like, wow, this is, like, it's enjoyable to get that, like, short dopamine rush of knowing that there's something there, but I much more enjoy the dopamine rush of hearing a sparkle and spending like 2 minutes trying to find out where it came from. Yeah, the obsidian oil fields. There we go. Oil Tycoon May's there. I think it's really fun, especially in the is it the woodlands? No, I can't remember. What's the place where you fight the Lord of the Woods Cleavor? The Heartwood. The Heartwood. That's what it is. The area around the Grand Tree. I really like hearing something in there because there's so many good spawns in there. I just got a Psyduck in there recently. Beautiful shiny. I hate Golduck. I don't know why they didn't make Golduck, but man, kind of wish they did. But hearing that Psyduck and thinking, oh my god, it could be a Cascoon, a Wurmple, a Baneri, a Psyduck, a Golbat or Zubat. Like, it was just such an interesting adrenaline rush of just, wow, I have no idea what this is, and like all of these are good choices. Dude, that is the funniest when you're in an area with Combi and you're just like, oh god, let it be female. Oh god, let it be female. Because like in most of these games in particular, you see the shiny way before you hear the sparkles because they plop onto the ground, it waits for a second, and then they sparkle. So you get to see them way before you hear them, and I think hearing them before you see them is a way different experience. Oh, hold on, you're in an earbud. You're not even on mic. Hold on, let me fix that for you. Yeah, I was gonna say. All right, try that again. I don't know if you can hear yourself on the mic, but because now we got 3 different things. We have 2 voices and game audio. That's crazy. Here, I'm gonna put you actually closer to the mic.
Hello stream. Oh, I can hear myself.
All right, dope. I'm sure that's weird. I know I hate re-listening to my video. Like whenever I record a video, especially when I'm at work and I have to record one, I always have to listen back to it to decide whether or not I have to mute the audio for it. Because a lot of times, either the radio, I'll pick up something on the radio and like, cool, I don't want to listen to music in the background, or there'll be coworkers talking, like, cool, I don't want to record their conversation. So it's just got to mute the video, and it just goes up with nothing on it. Been thinking about finding like a good background track for it, but I haven't bothered putting in the time for it yet.
I don't feel like I'm narcissistic and enjoy hearing my voice, but I also am not one of those people that are like, oh god, I can't stand it.
Dude,
it's kind of cool because I just can hear it from what other people do.
That's the worst part, is like you have such a like defined conception of what your voice sounds like because you constantly hear yourself talk, and then hearing what other people hear you as is like the weirdest feeling in the world.
Yeah, I'm really shocked by the fact that my voice, I always thought it was higher than it actually was.
I've always had like I feel like hearing my voice back more often in like the like clips I record is always strange because in my mind I hear myself form much more cohesive sentences, and then I hear myself back, I'm like, wow, I blabber, huh?
Yeah, I think my thing is, one of my favorite parts is I have the look of a stoner, but when I hear my voice, it's like, how am I not on drugs?
How is this man not high right now?
I don't get it. And yeah, I get it when there's like jokes about like, oh, you look like Shaggy right now. Okay, yeah. But then I hear myself, and then I see the way I walk, and I'm just like, oh, I get it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're just kind of Shaggy, but with way better hair. Honestly, I'm surprised you've kept that goatee for all these years.
I'm surprised too.
Like, it's not bad, but like, I'm just surprised you keep it. Like, the fact that you shave off enough for it to be like definitely a goatee, and the fact that you've like gotten rid of it just to see what it would look like again surprises me.
Well, I got rid of it all on Halloween for the Halloween costume.
Oh my god, the Joker costume was so good. I still think about that photo.
Oh my god, I need to tell you about that. So, my video game orchestra is playing for the cosplay troupe.
Hey, Bagon! Woo! The real hunt begins.
We're playing for a cosplay troupe, and I'm trying to see if we can get away with cosplaying. And you know I'm just gonna show up with a full-on Joker costume and start playing trombone.
The Joker, baby. Alrighty. First move is swap into skill stop Swow. Gotta get this Bagon to live forever. Dude, honestly, Phantom is such a good mon for SOS hunting, just because he's ghost type. So like, everything that's low level has like normal type moves, and like none of them affect him. And he can also learn Ingrain. So I just have two. I just have two Phantoms. One that sets up the Bagon to live forever, and then my Phantom, which lives forever. I never have to worry about PP. Never have to worry about healing it, because it just heals itself. For the longest time, I was really dumb, and I never fully affectionated my Phantom. So if it got burned, it could eventually die. But then I was just like, oh, I could just feed it a bunch of poffin or beans, and then it will no longer die to burn. It can, but it's a really low % chance that it doesn't heal itself through the burn.
When I played Gen 7 the second time, I just traded over a bunch of ghosts because I was like, haha, funny mono-type ghost team, and started from the beginning with it. And then I didn't realize that, oh, normal type's on Route 1, and ghost type was only ghost type moves. That didn't work out.
Yeah. I told you about my my Apricorn Ball runs, right? My Apricorn Ball runs where I start running through the game with Horsey.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god, Dragon Rage Horsey is busted. Everything up to the Totem Araquanid, which is like the second to last fight you have to beat, all dies in 2 Dragon Rages. Honestly, if you ever need Apricorn Balls, it takes maybe 3 hours to get another set of them. Oh, I should use Ingrain first. Oh, you know what? I haven't used an Adrenaline Orb either.
Oh, there it is. I remember. The only move that I had that would hit normal types in the beginning was Infestation.
Dude, what a banger move.
So I had a level 5 Dreepy with Infestation. It just sat there. Didn't do anything. Just had to wait.
Was this in... Are you sure this wasn't in Gen 8? Because, you know, Dreep is a Gen 8 mon.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, Gen 8.
You're all good.
See, to me, for the past, 5 years, Gen 8's been the latest gen. And now that there's a new gen, it's like, oh, yeah, the gen before the latest gen.
Dude, yeah, honestly, Scarlet and Violet, that's a really weird... Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to be like short. Like it doesn't roll off the tongue very well. I feel like there's probably going to be like how there's an Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. There's probably going to be a second version of these games where it'll be like Ultraviolet and like something Scarlet. But like even then, I can't think of any way that these games are going to roll off the tongue very well.
Ultraviolet and Scarlet Witch.
My
We're
favorite
going to the
Marvel
MCU.
characters.
Both being characters in the MCU already.
Definitely would not run into legal troubles with Marvel. Not at all. Not even Marvel, Disney. Even the Pokemon company is afraid to take on Disney.
I mean, messing with Marvel ain't hard. There's that whole Miss Marvel situation. No, was it Miss Marvel? No, it was. Yeah, it was Mr. Marvel, where Mr. Marvel got copyright strike by DC for being too close to Superman. So then DC was like, "We want that character now. Give it over." And after they got the character, they kind of just went, "Hey, you guys got to rename it. We can't have Marvel in our logo. That's like targeting the other team." So that's how we got Shazam.
Nice. You gotta love like the design stories behind like super famous characters like that. I guess not super famous, but I also think how crazy it is how mainstream like superheroes have become in the last couple of years because of the Marvel extended like cinematic universe. Like the only movies that used to make bank in the box office were Spider-Man movies, and that's because he was like the only popular superhero at the time. It was like Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman.
No, yeah, those two, because like the old Superman movies, they were weird. There was a lot of them. They never made as much as the other two, but there was always a lot of them. And they always had like the cults behind them.
Honestly, it's really weird to look back at like Hulk has not gotten. I guess Thor Ragnarok you could consider kind of a Hulk movie, but like Hulk has not had a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie since like they started the actual cinematic universe. Because doesn't Warner Bros. Still own the original Hulk movies?
I think so.
But they're like still
It's
canon to the MCU. It's like the weirdest thing in the world. I could be wrong on that,
Isn't it crazy how far? It's crazy how far Warner Brothers has fallen.
Dude, yeah, no. They used to be on top of the world in the early 20th century, and now they're just another studio.
You couldn't compete. Like Warner Brothers and Disney, they were at each other's throats. They were huge giants with each other. Like, what was it? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? They had deals going on when they tried to get both Mickey and Bugs Bunny in there, and they said, "Hey, we want our character in more. No, we want our character in more." So they came to the legal decision that they had to be in the movie for the same amount of the seconds.
That's actually like, was it frame counted or was it just to the nearest second?
It was frame counted.
That's actually so funny.
Because there was two scenes they were in. Basically, there was a scene where they were skydiving, and Mickey came in first a few frames ahead of Bugs Bunny, but you could tell later on when they're in the group scene later, Bugs Bunny walks in before Mickey Mouse, only by a few frames.
That's so funny. That's so petty. I love big business, dude.
Well, and have you ever watched that movie?
I've not seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit in a long time. Probably because, like, all I ever think about is just how odd the movie is and how much it affected the internet, honestly. Roger Rabbit did some things to the internet, dude.
Oh, wait, I'll be right back.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, solo casting time. Here we go. Honestly, this hunt hasn't been super bad. I keep getting into bouts where I find it just kind of unfun to be doing anything anymore. But it's something that's so consistent that it's never actually a problem to continue hunting. Honestly, I'd recommend if you are hunting and you kind of get and you're looking for something, I would recommend something that has a super like low odds of you getting, but something that has a lot of different potential targets to it. Like if you're gonna go for something and you want it to be more interesting, I would highly recommend taking on a 1% hunt. just because you're going to get a lot of phases, and do not let that discourage you, because it's so cool to get a 1% Pokemon. Uh, Honestly, I would love to, if I wasn't so committed on going just for the Salamance. I would love to restart this hunt and just go for a wild 1% Bagon. But honestly, I think sticking with the 1% shiny Salamance here is going to be enough for me. Probably not ever going to restart this
Yeah,
hunt.
Salamence.
I was just talking about why it's a great idea to start 1% hunts. James, what's the like? I know you're not as much into shiny hunting as I am, but like, what's like the longest thing you've actually hunted for?
Did I have to successfully do it?
Nope, it could still be ongoing. Like, obviously, I haven't successfully done this, but this is my longest hunt so far.
I think the longest one was Roly Coly.
Dude, Roly Coly's kind of crazy. I thought about going for him because he has such a high spawn chance outside of the Galar Mine #1, creative name, by the way. But I ended up not going for it just because I don't think hunting in Sword and Shield is all too interesting anymore. I used to really enjoy it, but now I find myself just running around in circles hoping a brilliant Pokemon spawns, so...
Yeah, I know the way I did it was, I was like, oh my god, I got this new Pokemon game, I want to finally go shiny hunting. And then I got Snom, which I got Snom fairly quickly. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go Roly Coly. And I just started it, and I just got bored.
I was going to say, like, Sword and Shield, I feel like there are definitely a lot of things I want to go back and I have to continue hunting. Like, I'm going to finish those Yampers. I just don't really want to finish it. I probably am going to finish this hunt before I go and finish the Yampers, honestly. And I also still have to get a Safari Ball in that game, which sucks. Because I could just, like, hack one in or ask someone to trade me one. But, like, no. I'd much rather enjoy the process. Good.
Can you trade a Pokemon with a Safari Ball from a past generation?
No, you can't transfer them up. You would have it would have to be someone else who already has. Like, I could transfer a Pokemon that was caught in a Safari Ball in like Gen 4 all the way up to Gen 8, but it wouldn't do me any good because male Pokemon don't pass down their Pokeball. Only females do, unless they're breeding with Ditto. But if you're breeding with Ditto, I can't get a Yamper. So I have to obtain the Safari Ball in Gen 8.
No, I was thinking, what if there was a way in a past generation where you can get, like, just get a random Pokemon like Rattata, but not put it in a Safari Ball, but have its health item be a Safari Ball?
I think Gen 8, like Sword and Shield, was the first game where you could actually obtain the item of a Safari Ball. I know, like, it was a hackable item in other games, but I don't think it worked properly because it only worked in Safari Zone. But you couldn't
Not
get
even
them.
The Gen 7 Apricorn?
No, I don't think is the Safari Ball in this game? No, it's not. Once again, you can get it through breeding, but of course you have to catch it in a previous game Safari Zone to have it in a Safari Ball, which is only Gen 3, 4. Oh my god, that's only Gen 3 and 4. That's crazy, actually. I wonder if Safari Ball or Sport Ball are the rarest ball. I guess technically Cherish Ball would be, but Obtainable Ball. I suppose it changes with Sword and Shield, but I wonder if there are more Pokemon you could catch in the Safari Zones in Gen 3 and 4, or if there was a larger number of Pokemon you could catch in the bug catching contest in Gen 2. I'd love to see the stats to see how many Pokemon you could catch in each ball. Because, like, obviously you can catch anything in a Pokeball, and I think you can catch most things in any other Pokeball, except for I think the Gen 8 starters have still never been released in anything in a catchable format. I don't think the Gen 7 starters have either. I think they're still only legally available in Pokeballs. I don't actually remember.
Couldn't you get the Gen 7? Oh, was there one to get the Gen 7 starters in what was it? The Isle of Armor DLC?
I don't think you did. Did you? I know they were transferable over after that, but I think they were transfer exclusive. I don't think they're in the decks anywhere in Gen 8.
No,
and
wait. They were in the,
I was gonna say, I don't know. Yeah, but that would have been given to you in a Pokeball.
Yep.
I don't think they were released in a raid den ever, so I don't think they were ever catchable. Trying to think of, I don't think has been anything. I could be wrong about this. That's not in a dex that's been available through the raid den, because I know there's now like 3 dexes for them to come from. But I think everything that's ever been released as a catchable raid den event has been in one of the dexes. I don't think they've released like the Gen 7 starters. I think those are the only Pokemon other than the legendaries and the Dynamax adventures that are transferable to the game that aren't in a Pokedex. I could be wrong though. Which starter are you choosing for Scarlet and Violet? Have you decided yet?
So far, Weedcat.
Weedcat is kind of funny, but I'm a big fan of Bubble Bobble Crocodile. Like, how could you not choose Bubble Bobble?
It's really funny to me because I think this set of starters has been one of the most diverse where I haven't really heard people like rag on one. It's a pretty even split of what people like.
I was gonna say, I think the only one that gets made fun of really, like they make fun of Weedcat in like a haha, it looks like it's high on weed kind of way, but like I think all of them are decently like everyone enjoys the designs on most of them. I think the one I get here ragged on the most is the duck one because it just looks like Ducklet, but again.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, Ducklet isn't that bad.
But I feel that it's really funny to me who likes what though. Like I walked into my string ensemble practice yesterday. There was 10 of us in the room. Every one of us said Weedcat. Which I just found insane that it's like it's weird where it's a niche group of people and they all agree on what's the best Pokemon starter. And if there's something psychological about that. I'm not a psych major though, so who knows.
It's because you're in a college, James. Everyone just haha weed.
No, that's the funny part. Outside of them, the only people I've really talked to in person that have chosen stuff have usually been Bubble Bobble, but there's always a few Quaxes.
Dude, I actually did not. I still don't know what any of their names are. I keep like reading them, and I have no idea which one's which. I could guess if I saw all 3 of them in a list. Like I think it's like Despacito something for the cat. I know it's something small, but it's like Sprigatito.
I know. Yeah, Sprigatito.
But like it's just gonna be Bubble Bobble Crocodile. Like it rolls off the tongue so well. I don't care what it's named.
Because that's Fuecoco.
I'm really interested to see what it evolves into because at the moment it doesn't look like one of the Chinese New Year animals because a crocodile isn't on the Chinese New Year, right?
Yeah, I mentioned that thing to other people yesterday, and they were just like, "What? I've never heard of the Zodiac thing." Even though like they all are huge Pokemon fans, and they're like, "Yo, we are." Like everyone was updated on, but no one knew about the Zodiac thing. Even though I thought that was more of a common knowledge type of thing.
Like there's so many things that like the only thing I can think of is it's gonna evolve into a dragon or it's gonna evolve into a lizard, and we're gonna call Charmander. Or is there a dragon in the Zodiac signs? Am I crazy?
There's a dragon, but there's no lizard.
I thought there was a lizard.
There's a snake.
Man, I have no idea what this is going to be then, because you definitely can't call Charmander, Charmeleon, or Charizard a snake. I thought there was a lizard and a dragon, and like we would call.
They're all.
Maybe it evolves into a snake instead of a crocodile. I don't know. Because I mean, it just has like the one big fang, right?
The only ones left.
I think it's like horse. Horse, ox, snake. Is there a horse? Am I crazy?
Horse, ox, snake, and sheep. Yep.
I'm really interested to see how they're going to make a horse without it just being Ponyta again.
I think at this point they're just kind of not doing that anymore, though, because I would like to see something different.
I think it's really it would be really awesome for them to do something different, but I feel like they've already done it, 8 times. I feel like it'd be weird for them to not finish.
Well, there's other little things apparently, like apparently all of the water starters have had weapons for the past few generations. I don't get that. I don't fully understand it, but apparently it's been a thing.
Gun.
There's like gun, throwing stars.
What did Primarina have?
I don't know. But
Bubbles?
I was watching some like Fakie modification, and they were talking about it, and be like, "Yeah, all water starters have weapons." And I'm like, what? Like Blastoise has cannons.
Yeah, I don't think that applies to Primarina or for Alligator.
For Alligator has teeth, and I'll consider those weapons.
Okay, what about Swampert? Like that, I don't know. I feel like that's literally just I can't remember Gunman's name, Greninja and Samurott. Like that's just 3 out of the 8. And I guess Blastoise has cannons, but
yeah, but for Alligator, I'd say that one's just tough all around. And Swampert, if you want to say Mega Swampert, it's got those fists.
It does have beefy forearms. I love Mega Swampert for all the wrong reasons. He has way too much free time, and his parents are never home at night. Hot take. That's what Mega Swampert is. He's got jacked forearms for a reason. It's really interesting to just sit down and not just be doing this while watching something else, to actually have a conversation, because it makes this feel so much better, because I can't really get I get absorbed into the conversation, but I can still pay attention to the game enough to continue hunting, as opposed to doing this while watching a show or playing another game, where I feel like I have to put this down to pay attention more.
I do like the idea of it being streamed, just because anyone can come in and just talk. Like if someone were to just hop in chat, I'd probably just start talking to them, and be like, "Yo, man."
Dude, I would love to just sit down, even if it's just one dude chilling in chat, dude. I could sit down and have a conversation with him. I'd love to, I honestly think that Ox and Snake would be interesting. I think honestly, I really am excited to see where this one goes, because I feel like if it's gonna follow the Zodiac stuff, it almost certainly has to go into Snake. Maybe it'll become another what's Dunsparce, a Tsukinomo? What is that legendary wide snake?
I do not know.
I don't remember what it's called. I know it's hard to pronounce because it's in Japanese, but I think it's like Tsukinomo, where it's just snake, but what if it was wide? Which I think would be interesting. I don't know exactly how they're gonna make that into a fire type, but you know what? Let's look it up. I don't find out what it is. Wide.
The only
Japanese
thing is, I feel like this thing can unhinge its jaw. If this thing were to just randomly decide, yeah, I'm gonna unhinge everything, I'm like, yeah.
It's Sunuki. It's Tsuchinoko. I don't speak Japanese. Please absolutely destroy my pronunciation of Tsukinoko. But it's just it's some legendary snake that's mythological snake, I guess, that is supposed to live and bring, I think it's bad luck to people who see it. Let's just read the Wikipedia for it. It is 12 to 31 inches long. It's much wider than its head or tail in the center. It's able to jump up to a meter into the air, and it's also able to double jump. They're also able to speak, and they love lying, and can taste alcohol. It can also swallow its own tail, so it can roll like a wheel. So honestly, I think that would be a really, because Dunsparce kinda is a Tsukinoko, but also isn't in any other way other than the fact it's a kind of wide serpent. So I think taking whatever Quax Coco, Bubble Bobble Alligator, and making him into a snake instead would be really interesting. because that's like I feel like that's one of the bigger Japanese mythological creatures that isn't truly explored in Pokemon. Like Dunsparce exists, but it's like it feels only semi-inspired. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a lot more to Dunsparce, I just don't know. I do know it gets rollout, which I suppose would be more referential to it swallowing its own tail to roll around like a wheel, but honestly, they could do better. Dunsparce deserves to evolve, let's be honest. Like, honestly, I love seeing fan-made Dunsparce evolutions where he becomes a true dragon, or like mega evolutions and Fakemon hacks. Those are interesting. I don't think they're ever as nicely designed as Pokemon would make them, but I do think it's interesting to see other people have a take on single evolution Pokemon. I really love what they did with like Stantler and Quillfish, honestly. I hate their evolution methods, but I love that they got evolutions and that they feel Pokemon-y. I think Overquill is probably the worst of the new evolutions we got, but there's always a bad bunch whenever a new set is released, so can't have a perfect release of anything. Um, Honestly, I think it could be much worse what we had gotten from Legends Arceus. We could have gotten, I guess, if you think of Quillfish more as a sea mine as opposed to being a giant pufferfish, it makes a lot more sense from the design's point. But I feel like it just being a pufferfish with even bigger spikes feels really, really odd. Even if you do start talking about like Fuego, or not Fuego, Fugo, the Japanese pufferfish that people eat that's like super poisonous. I suppose those ones don't have like enormous spines or anything to them. It's more just they have really poisonous toxins within them because they eat poisonous bacteria, so that wouldn't really make their spines grow larger. But I understand you have to monsterify your things and not just make them more lore based. I do love my favorite Pokemon though are definitely ones that have like real world counterparts and take a lot from real world inspirations. I think Drowsy, even though it's like a Gen 1 Mon, which are like notorious for not having very thought out designs, is awesome. I love like Tapirs and the Nightmares. Just like yokai in general, I think are some of the most taking like famous yokai from Japanese folklore and designing them into Pokemon, transferring them into monsters you can catch, was done so perfectly. I've never actually played Yokai Watch. I've thought about it, but I know that it's also really good at taking the folklore of Japan and transferring them into really well designed monsters for you to catch and collect. One of the more interesting spots, I think, is probably the. I think collection is way more important to Pokemon than the battling is, but I think that's why Legends Arceus is such a good game because it forces it the end goal of the game, sorry, is to catch everything and then fight Arceus, which is such a banger plot point. Like,
with yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, I wanted to touch on this with the TLA Pokemon, where it's just I feel all of them are somewhat ugly, and not in a bad way either. I feel like they were all meant to be like these more beastly, ugly creatures, and I don't really know of any that were like nice and friendly. Even like the Pokemon Star Evolutions, they kind of gave a more beastly and dangerous look to them, and I kind of liked that just because everything going extinct, like all these wild, untamable creatures, didn't survive to the modern era Pokemon.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about how much I dislike Overquill's design because it feels much more like it feels like a rushed creature design because they literally just like clicked and dragged Quillfish's spikes to make them longer. And I feel like other than like unless you're looking at it becoming a much larger, more dangerous sea mine, there's no other like design incentive to it. Which I mean, it doesn't always have to have multiple meanings, but Overquill feels like a really bad design in my opinion.
I think it's fun, but my whole thing is I feel like Ogre uglier, Ursaluna uglier. I feel
Dude, I love
Zora
Ursaluna.
ugly, Sneasler ugly, but not all ugly as in I hate their design. Ugly and beastly.
I was gonna say they're more monstrous for sure. Like even Lilligant becomes I feel like Lilligant is more monstrous in the sense that Frostloss is monstrous, where it's deceivingly beautiful to make it more evil.
I feel like everything was less friendly.
Dude, and I haven't actually gotten that far in the Daybreak update, but I've been really enjoying the massive mass outbreaks. I haven't gotten to see any of the alpha ones yet, but I'm sure those are really interesting to run around from.
Like they're all just ugly, and I don't know why. I love it though. Like like you said, Lilligant. It's disproportionate. It doesn't feel right. Like I don't know how else to put it for Lilligant, but it's so slender. It looks Slenderman.
It definitely does have like an odd eerie vibe to it, where it doesn't feel like it's particularly where it doesn't feel particular like it gets really close to the uncanny valley. I feel like is the issue, where it looks close enough to be human to be mistaken for it, but for a short period of time.
No one was shaped like a friend. That's the best way I can put it. No one was shaped like a friend.
Honest, I like a lot of the new Hisuian forms and like the new Hisuian Pokemon. Like I just hate Overquill though. I like it's just it feels so bad in every aspect. Like I don't know what its like stats are gonna look like when it gets transferred to an actual game, like a mainline game. But
it's gonna have a niche use on range. It has Swift Swim, and it's the first Pokemon that isn't a water type to get Swift Swim.
is it really?
Yes.
Every Pokemon that's crazy.
Then you also have Ursalunar, having the highest attack of any Pokemon with Guts.
Oh, I assume this is just like this is like I assume none of this has been like actually put out there, but this is like assuming based on their previous evolutions.
No, it's in the code.
Oh, is it? So wait,
they actually changed a lot.
So they have it coded in the game for these Pokemon to have abilities, and then just decided to turn them off.
Yes.
That's hilarious. I guess they kind of had to give Regigigas its slow start, but
from a coding standpoint, you have these files that are like you have this data class, and the data class has a bunch of check marks in it, like what is the ability, and you have to type in the ability. What is the base stats? What is the height? And you have to have these little checkboxes filled in. And it would be easier to give all the new things their abilities early in these checkboxes than it would be to take off all the abilities from everyone else.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot easier to just transfer over things and decide it now, so that when you transfer them into the next games, you don't have to decide it then.
Yeah, but Guts on the Ursalunar, it being a ground type with Earthquake and having the highest attack stat of any Guts user is insane. I know.
Will it get access to Facade? I don't know if Ursaring does or not.
I don't know.
Because is it ground normal or is it just ground type?
Ground normal.
Because dude, Guts boosted Stab Facade is probably gonna be crazy.
But because Sheer Force Braviary.
Oh, is that what Braviary gets?
Yeah, it gets Sheer Force. I'm trying to think of some of the others. Weird Ear gets Intimidate.
That's nice. That's nice. It feels way less intimidating than a normal Stantler
Enamorous.
does. Enamorous, what is it gonna get?
Contrary.
Ooh. I was gonna say this is all new news to me. I have not seen any of this yet.
Imagine in a double situation, you have Incineroar and what's it? Enamorous. And Incineroar uses Snarl, lowers the opponent's special attack, raises Enamorous' special attack, and then it lets off whatever move it wants.
It could also just use Parting Shot. Can you self-target, or not self-target, but side target with Parting Shot? And, oh, hey, Shiny Bagon! Woo, phase 33! Already. That was really fast. That felt like such a short phase. James, what ball should I catch this in? Ooh, no answer. I'm gonna probably just throw in another nest ball then. Dude, that's crazy. I didn't expect to get another Bagon this quick. I've been doing this for 45 minutes exactly now. That's such a crazy turnout. SOSing is so fast. It's ridiculous. I'm honestly super surprised that I haven't gotten like a 2 shinies on screen yet with SOSing these Bagon. I feel like it's almost bound to happen before I get the Salamence.
Weird question, but you know how back in Gen 1, if you got a Pokemon certain stats traded Gen 2, it would be shiny?
Yeah.
Does it work that same way with square shinies?
What do you mean? Oh, like if you trade a shiny from like Gen Set? No, everything that's transferred up from the previous generation will always have Star Sparkles.
Okay.
You have any nature guesses in the chat? Any nature guesses in the chat? You have a nature guess, James? Oh my. I should have just thrown a ball, honestly. If I threw in the nest ball, I think I would have just caught it immediately. Really didn't have to put it at 1 HP. Alrighty. What ball am I gonna throw? I'm gonna close my eyes and just go through and hope I don't land on a Master Ball.
Luxury.
I did. Oh, you want a luxury ball? Okay. I literally just did land on the Master Ball, so I'm really glad I didn't press A, because that Master Ball is saved for the Salamance. Luxury ball. There it is. Alrighty, count it down. Count it down. Yeah, I've already done it. I've gotten them all. So I'm just throwing. I'm throwing whatever now.
No. I mean Salamances. You want a shiny Salamence and everything?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm gonna hunt down 22 shiny Salamances too. No. Honestly, I probably I need to use a Roto Catch if I'm gonna be using a luxury ball, because it doesn't get a catch multiplier, right? It's just a standard Pokeball, or is it a Great Ball?
I think it gives friendship, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, could you double check that for me? I think it's just a 1x catch chance. I don't think it's like multiplied by anything. So I'm gonna actually use a Roto Catch on this turn to try and.
Looks like it's a ×1.
Okay. Yep. ×1 catch rate. Yeah, so I definitely need a Roto Catch for this then. I guess I could. I don't think I have anything on my team that has paralysis or sleep though. So.
Oh, I see what it is. What it does is it makes it so you get friendship more quickly.
Oh, that's right. The friend ball is the one that just gives you a base boost to friendship, but the luxury ball just increases the friendship rate. But it doesn't have an increased catch rate at all. It's the same exact as throwing a Pokeball, right?
Yes.
Interesting. Oh, he has such a high call rate too. I'm gonna like never be able to throw a ball at this. I really should put something on my team that has like sleep or paralysis, so I don't have to worry about a shiny continuing to SOS.
It's easier. You might as well not do it the other way.
I could have also just thrown balls at full health, because then it would have been much less likely to call something. Because I think he has a 50% chance to call something and then a 50% chance to succeed at calling something. I could be wrong. I haven't read through the SOS facts on Bagon in a while. Not since like phase 3. 1 shake, 2 shake, 3 shake. Ooh, 3 shake fake. Oh, that long pause when you just realize, oh, it didn't catch, and then it pops out. One of the most disappointing feelings in Pokemon. Dude, we didn't even actually see a Salamance in this entire phase.
No, not at all.
Like, we only saw Bagons, and we got a shiny one before we ever even saw Salamance. That's actually crazy, if it shows you how improbable it is for me to get this Salamance. Really glad this one's live. I don't have to hold my phone up to record this entire phase. My hand would be getting tired because it would have been recording for 5 minutes. I would have probably propped it up on something, but definitely would not have been short enough to make it a short, let me tell you. 33 phases, though. Oh boy. Remind me when we actually catch this that I have to put a new Lepa Berry on my Phantom so we can just start the next phase right away.
Got it.
I'm totally gonna forget.
I'm probably gonna forget too because I'm coding currently.
Oh yeah? What are we making the code do?
Yeah.
Yeah? We're just making it yeah?
It's a calculator that uses calculus.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah. Basically, I have to create a class for a constant number, which is just a number, like 5, 17. I need to create a class for a variable, x. I need to create addition statements that allow me to take derivatives. All of these I have to take derivatives and integrals of. The addition statements, product statements, and sine, cosine, and I think that's it? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound hard at all.
I need to be able to take the integral of everything, the derivative of everything, and just evaluate it straight up.
There it is, the end of phase 33.
Oh yeah, and turn everything to a string. Lepa Berry, Lepa Berry, Lepa Berry.
You got a nickname for me?
Yeah. Huh. He's a Carl.
A Carl? Guess what? He's Carl with a K.
You know, he vibes like that. He's Mark with an L.
Mark with an L. I have no idea what that means.
It is the most intimidating thing you can tell someone. I'm Mark with an L. Where does the L go? Right where you found it.
You know, Mark.
Mark.
Dude, do you know what my favorite thing in the world is? I love... You know when we were playing D&D and my character's name was Tony? I love Tony. It's my favorite spelling of a name ever. It spells exactly how you think it would. Will I spell it? Not at all. We're gonna save that phase. Woo. Phase 33.
Lepa Berry, Lepa Berry, Lepa Berry.
I already put it on. We're all good. Guess we're on phase 34 now. Oh boy. Ew, caps locks. Alrighty, I'm gonna go to the Pokemon Center and heal up my team because I don't feel like wasting items on them. Dude, I'm gonna have a whole box of Bagons here soon. I think that's what, my 24th. I guess we're gonna count it when we get into the PC.
Yeah, that sounds right though.
I think it's 24 because I know it's 22 would be one of every ball, and then it should be 2 extras because I caught an extra one in a nest ball and I caught this extra one in a luxury ball. Ooh, all of a sudden my camera just focused really well. Go camera. So let's see. We're gonna move this Mankey because he's in the wrong spot. Oh, that's the wrong way.
He just likes it there.
Wait, where's my shiny box? Where'd it go? What? Oh, there it is. So let's see. That's 18. Yeah, 20. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, 24 because I have 2 in my party. Ooh, let's actually check Carl's stat distribution. Special attack, special defense, and speed. That's almost good, but it looks like he has awful IVs in HP and defense.
Wait, what was his nature?
His name. Oh yeah, what'd you guess? It's naughty. I didn't guess myself. I would have guessed adamant though, just because I would, prefer Actually, I guess Salamence is a mixed attacker, so Adamant wouldn't have been that great. Because I think he has better special moves than he has
It depends on what
physical moves. I do plan at some point on going through the Elite Four in this game with a team of 6 Bagon, a team of 6 Shelgon, and then a team of 6 Salamance. But it's just really disappointing because there's no Hall of Fame to like prove that I did that. Or I don't remember if they changed that in this game to add back the Hall of Fame. I know Gen 8 doesn't have a Hall of Fame, which I think is super. I think they got rid of it in this game. It might have been in Gen 6 though. Well, I know it was in ORAS. I don't know if it was in X and Y though. I know for a fact it's not in Gen 8. The only semblance you get is the title screen, but that's all right. Alrighty. Starting phase 34. We're just going to start looking for another Bagon. Watch it be the first encounter. Nope. Oh, 24 shiny Bagons. That's
I love
crazy.
I
really wonder if there.
I love coding where I need exactly what it says.
Dude, honestly, coding seems super hard. I'm so sad that I'm so sorry that you're taking a CS class, and that CS class requires coding.
It's less of the. I feel that coding isn't really that bad. I think the syntax sucks, but I don't think you would be bad at it because a lot of it is just logicking your way through it. Like
I was gonna say, I know a lot of coding isn't memorization, like professional coding, because you can kind of just like look up code if you need to. Same with math problems, but you know.
There was one lab last year which I think you would have excelled at because I excelled at it, where it was this card game. I've never heard of the card game before, and apparently, like, you can look into history, and it's appeared multiple places throughout history, blah, blah, blah. But basically, it was this, for all intents and purposes, a made-up card game where you're trying to optimize something. And you, like, for part of the lab, it didn't tell you how to optimize it. You had to create your own method and have to have it above a point of 4, because there was a point system to it, blah, blah. And if you could get it above 5, you got bonus points on it. And it was so fun, like, actually trying to figure it out and be like, how can I make this in the most optimal way? And it's just all about points.
I think the most of the stuff I enjoy about like card games though is the statistics on them. Like I love just talking about how humongous and improbable it is to shuffle a deck of cards the same way twice. Like 52 factorial is such a humongous number that it's unbelievably large. I'm sure everyone has seen the Vsauce video on how big 52 factorial is, but...
Here, actually, I'm going to try to explain the card game to you, just because I think you would be interested in it. Say you have 10 cards, numbered 1 through 10. You shuffle them up, and you lift up your first card. Well, you have 3 extra piles. You have first off the pile that you draw from. You have 2 quote-unquote discard piles that are for later, where you can use them at any time, and you have a final pile, which is how you get your points. What you need to do is, when you pick up a card, you need to put it in one of the 2 discard piles, and you're only allowed to move it to the winner's pile if it is the first card in numerical order left. So you need to put a 1 there at first, and then a 2, then a 3. And
are you always
to optimize the way you put them in the discard piles, but you cannot move cards from one discard pile to another. Once they're in that discard pile, they can only get to the winning state, and you have to optimize that strategy.
So, when you're drawing from the discard pile, do you put it back on top of the pile after you draw that card, or underneath the bottom of the pile?
Yeah. Well, there's the drawing pile, which you're only going to draw from it 10 times. You have those 10 cards, whatever order they're in is what you have. And you have the 2 discard piles that you can put stuff in. You can only take the top card from the discard pile.
Okay.
So if the first card you put in the discard pile was a 3, and then you put a 4 on top of it, you will never access the 3 because you need the 3 to be in the pile for the 4 to get you need the 3 to be in the winner's pile in order to get the 4 out of it.
Okay. And I assume the 10 cards are going to be 1 through 10, and they're randomly organized.
Yes.
Yeah, I would really love to sit down or at least like learn what the winning strategy is for this game. Because the most basic strategy I'm thinking of is you would just keep. I would assume you would take the largest. You want to hope that you're drawing low, of course, because if you just draw an order, obviously you win. But I would assume one of the winning strategies would probably have to do with keeping like larger numbers. Like you want to have one pile where it's like numbers greater than 6, and then the other because if one's the last number you're drawing, you're probably losing anyway, unless you drew them in like reverse order. I don't know. That'd be very interesting. Because I mean, it'd be you have 10 different ways to organize that deck of cards, which I don't know what it is off the top of my head. And I assume probably like maybe 30% of them, rough guess, would be ones where you can get a greater than 5 points. That does seem like a really interesting game of solitaire, though.
Well,
or like a solitaire game.
I know when I did it, we had to run hundreds of thousands of tests, and my average score was 5.1, meaning most of the time I was getting over a 5.
But I mean, like with what kind of strategy? Like, I mean, obviously, there has to be like the computer's going to run whatever strategy you were thinking of, and I'm interested to hear what your final strategy was.
Basically, I treated one of the 2 discard piles as a junk pile, where I tried to start as big as possible in the first pile, and would only put things in there if they were lower than the card that was already in there. And if I didn't have it, then it would automatically go to the second pile.
So basically, you were hoping to like
the second pile was
your first draw. You're either hoping for 10 or you're hoping for 1, and then if you get something like an 8, you're going to put it in the third pile and just kind of ignore that unless you get like a 9 or.
Well, if I got a 10 on the first draw, I would put it in the first pile, no matter what. But if I got an 8 on that second card, it would go into the first pile on top of the 10.
Oh, so if you got something in between,
the only time I'm ever going to access the 10, I'm already going to have access to the 8.
Okay, that makes sense. What was the best average score in like, or did you guys get to compare your projects with each other, or?
You see, I heard rumors of like, oh, this person said they got about a 6. I'm not sure I believe them because I've never seen anyone's code run higher than mine.
Damn, so you're top of your class, huh?
One person, but because I did see one person score higher than me, because at the end of their statistics, they realized they couldn't get it above a 4, so they added 2 to it. So whatever their average was, they just added 2, and they got away with it on a lab and got 100.
Dude, I think it's really funny because like I don't remember exactly where I think it was another Vsauce video where he was talking about doing like 100 coin flips, and the statistics professor could tell who did and didn't actually do that 100 coin flips based entirely on how often they had streaks of 7 or more, heads or tails. But like, I'm sure your professor just probably didn't look into it all that much.
Yeah, no.
If they were able to get away with literally just adding 2 to their average.
We have student instructors looking to grade the labs.
Oh, really? How abusable.
Mm-hmm. No, they have to go through a huge code of conduct and bullshit. They're very serious about it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're either there for teaching degrees or something similar. I would guess if they're working
no,
as like
just a job.
No, they're like just being paid to help grade labs.
Yep.
That's kind of crazy.
It's an on-campus job where it's SIs for my computer science class. It's basically like, hey, you get paid to show up to the lectures, even though you've already done this class. Like during the lab, like in lab shift during class, where we're actually like working on it. They come in, they walk around, they help people.
Okay, so they're just paid student aides.
There's also SI sessions where it's like some classes twice a week. They'll be like the SIs will run this little group activity to reinforce the lesson that you learned that week.
Yeah, I think that's probably gonna be like next time I sit down, I'm doing something other than a shiny hunt on like my break or something. Like I pull out a deck of cards to play solitaire. I think I'd be definitely be interested in playing that like 10 card draw solitaire.
Yeah, and not only that was that like a fun activity. I was talking to some other people, and they were like, "Yeah, we kind of looked at it and we said after we did the lab, we were like, how much farther can we take this?" And because of the way the code worked, you could make it 100 cards easily. You can increase the amount of cards with different numbers on them. You could change the amount of discard piles you had, and you could try to algorithmically do that. And you could probably try to find out an algorithm for like the optimal way to play at every level. What strategy works when you have more stacks? What strategy works when you have a lot more cards?
Yeah, that's like game. I don't think that's technically game theory, but is that I don't remember. I don't know what game theory
I don't
actually
know.
is. I know I'm pretty sure it's more marketing than it is development of games, but I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I'm not a sciencer.
Yeah, but it's like a little fun experiment where I liked it. I liked doing the lab. It was really funny because it was one of those things where it was like, oh, this is all logic, and I was able to do the lab in like 2 hours while everyone else was struggling for hours on end just to meet the bare minimum.
I was gonna say, like, I definitely it would just be something like if I knew how to make the codes, I would just test a bunch of like random hypotheses. I feel like I could probably, if like once again, if I knew how to write the code for it, or if I was just given like the building blocks to drag and drop code, I'm sure I could get something. Probably not 5 within like 2 hours, like you said you did, but maybe like 4.
Yeah, yeah, like it was definitely more than 2 hours. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but like
I figured, but I mean, hey, don't put yourself down.
actually, it probably wasn't. It probably wasn't that much of an exaggeration because I remember I just kind of sat down and did it in like one sitting. Unlike what I'm looking at right now, which I'm kind of just staring at.
Oh, every time I see a cutie fly, I always give myself a second. I'm just like, is that pink? Like
Yeah,
literally,
when
I
it comes
probably
in, it
have
looks like
like honestly, I could have failed a shiny cutie fly other than the 2 I have, and I would have genuinely zero idea that I have because I just do not. Whenever, because like every other mon, when you see it in like when the camera's turning, you can tell whether or not it is. I feel like cutie fly is always way too far away for you to see it unless it gets a really close, like a big close up, which I don't ever bother waiting for because I'm impatient. So I've probably failed a cutie fly, but I don't know that I have. So I can't say that I failed a cutie fly so
I
far.
think you notice.
I think I'd probably notice, but I don't play it often with sound on, so I definitely wouldn't have heard it if I did. Um, so I genuinely can't say. I only know that I failed one shiny in this hunt. I think overall I've only failed like 4 shinies. I know I failed a shiny Lotad. I failed a shiny Bagon in this hunt. I failed a Staravia in Legends Arceus due to the day-night cycle of all